How's it going, everybody? My name is Dylan, and this is a different kind of video from what you typically see on my channel. This video is going to be a town tour of my Animal Crossing New Horizons island. I'm going to show you what it looks like to have a 5-star island. I know a lot of people probably won't be there yet if they're playing along real time. I have about 200 days worth of gameplay, nearing about 300 hours. About 200 active days. So I'm going to show you what that looks like. So we'll just hop right in here. It's going to be pretty unprofessional. I'm just kind of sitting here in my room recording this. This isn't post commentary. I'm recording it as I play. Got Isabelle here. My town's called Wallflower. That's the name of my town. I went back and forth between a few different names, but I landed on Wallflower, and I'm pretty happy with it. Nothing going on today. Alright, so obviously we're going to start at my house, since that's where I'm going to obviously come out of. There's me. We're just gonna go back in just to kind of show you off my rooms. Show off my rooms to you guys. My main room here. This is my living room. It's not very cohesive, and I'm not really happy with it. It just kind of looks like a bunch of mess of shit. But hopefully, eventually, it will be something that is a little more cohesive. Makes a little more sense. This is my pet turtle, Frank, here. And then we will start, let's go counterclockwise. So we're going to start in my rightmost room here. And this is my kitchen. I'm very happy with this. I finally got the stuff to make the ironwood kitchenette, which, you know, is very sought after. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with how it looks. I don't foresee this changing very much. There might be some changes in the table, but other than that, for the most part, I think this room is pretty much done. I might replace this log bench with something that's not a bench, but other than that, it's about finished. This is going to be a long video, if you can't tell. We'll go back to my back room here. This is my workshop. I'm very happy with how this is right now. I don't see this changing much unless I come across more items that I feel would fit in here pretty good. Got a little table there for working on, you know, painting and electronics, tools, books, some trophies, you know, accolades. Got my whiteboard and my blackboard. My typewriter's up there, and some sewing stuff. And then a little fossil, because I feel like fossils fit here. And of course a tiny little TV in case you need some entertainment while you're working. There's a radio up there as well. Yeah, pretty cool. I'm pretty happy with this room. Like I said, I don't see that changing much unless I just find more things that I feel like fit in there. And then we'll go to this room, and this is my bathroom. The bathroom feels kind of empty to me. I would not call this room finished. It's kind of hard to come across, at least I've been having some trouble coming across like bathroom type items. I believe this is the cherry blossom flooring I have here with green wood flooring, or green wood walls as well. I'm pretty happy with the colors, but I don't know what I have in here. I mean, there's just shit sitting on the ground. I probably shouldn't swear, it's a kid's game. There are just things sitting on the ground, and like this radio, and like this little fan. Like there's 2 fans in this room, and they're both pink. I can't even access this one because of the candles. But yeah, I foresee this changing. I want this to change. I don't want this to be its final state. But yeah, it's kind of work in progress still. And then we will go to the basement, because I think my bedroom, the second floor, is actually my best room. I think it's the most detailed and complex. This is my basement, and it's a basement. I always do this in Animal Crossing, where my basement is literally a basement, where I throw a bunch of shit in the bottom. I swear again, I'm only gonna say shit. I'm not gonna say anything else. I'm not gonna do any other swears. But like, this is just stuff you'd find in a basement. A rack of stuff, you know, like old furniture, boxes, old junk, a freezer. Yeah, this is gonna get more full as holidays come through, like Halloween and Christmas. As those go by, those decorations will be kept down here permanently. Like you see the Bunny Day vanity here, those will come down here after the holidays to be put in quote unquote storage, because that's what you do. You throw your Christmas decorations and Halloween decorations in the basement until the holidays come back around. So that's what that room's gonna be. And then my bedroom, and my bedroom is loosely modeled after my own bedroom. Like my bed, the ironwood bed I have here. This is my. I have this bed, little mushrooms with stars on it. I have that duvet cover, and then it's just a bunch of stuff on the walls and I don't know, cool stuff. Like I like to throw as much stuff on my walls as I can. And I think it adds a lot of depth and character to the room. Little tarantula model, a couple fish. The squid there might get replaced with something else, but I thought the squid was the coolest thing I had in my inventory at the time. So yeah, this is my bedroom. This is definitely my favorite room in my house. There is another character on my island. A player character who I make his room and everything. He's got some cool rooms, and we'll go through that in a little bit. So we're gonna go outside now. Of course, as the island representative, I get a nice big fancy yard here with lots of flowers. As you can see, because I'm a 5-star town, I do get lilies of the valley, however you want to say it. They do grow, and they actually grow a lot. They used to be called Jacob's Ladders in New Leaf, and I believe all other prior games they were called Jacob's Ladders. But they changed it to Lily of the Valley in this game. But definitely sought after. You actually can't pick them, like you can't pick the bulbs, and you can't display them in your house, which kind of sucks actually. Of course we have Peck. Peck is one of my favorite villagers. I moved him in with an amiibo card, as you'll see is the case with a lot of my villagers. Not all of them, but a lot of them were moved in with amiibo cards. Of course I keep the mini map on display there so you can kind of see how things look here. I haven't actually played yet today, so there's some chores that I need to do. This is my farm. There were some data mine leaks of there being potentially vegetables that we grow in the future. I actually built this before that came out. But if that does come to fruition, this is going to be a lot cooler than it is right now. You can see even with all these weeds, and there's actually more weeds throughout my town. There's quite a few weeds in my town. Even with these, my town's still 5-star. So there's not a huge focus on weeding. You don't have to get rid of all of the weeds. My cat has come to say hello. But you know, obviously you do have to get rid of some of them, but you could still have a lot of weeds in your town and still get the 5-star. So that's my little farm area. We come down here. This is a little gated community of what used to be my favorite villagers that I had here. It still mostly is, but then this one, Anacotti, moved in. And don't get me wrong, I like Anacotti, but I wouldn't classify her as my favorite villager. But this is Static's house. Static is my number one, my ride or die. I love him. Peck lives here, and Peck, I remember in New Leaf, his house was like kind of shitty. So he's got some like barrels and shit on the outside. You'll see this guy around town, the Tanuki figure. On Wallflower, we believe that the Tanuki is, it symbolizes great prosperity, good luck. I didn't mean to open that. So you'll see a lot of those around town. We tend to keep them everywhere. I'm actually still landscaping here, getting some bushes in. And then Stitches lives here. And Stitches, I think everybody loves Stitches. I don't think I'm the only one that loves Stitches. He's just a teddy bear and he's adorable. And then down here is the beach. There's a message in the bottle. The beach, this beach is nothing special. This beach is just a beach with some palm trees. And then here we see our first behave sign. And that is a picture of me telling you to behave. I will open my town a lot to my friends when I'm not playing. I'll just open it and, you know, my character will sit somewhere and I'll go off and I'll do chores or whatever. I'll even take naps, or I'm playing something else on my PS4 or something. I'll just open my town so people can come in. And so I have some signs up around to remind you to behave, because this is a communist state. And if you don't follow the rules, you get sent to the gulag. Here we have a farmer's market and my lovely farmer market sign, because if there was an S in there, it'd be completely thrown off. I did just see a street market on Twitter posted today, and it looked 1,000 times better than this, and it made me a little self-conscious of it. But I do have to remind myself that this is a farmer's market and not just like a street market, which is a lot different. So yeah, you know, things for sale. Most of these are custom. Like this pattern is custom, this pattern is custom, and this pattern is custom. Just to kind of get a better feel of what's being sold here. You know, tea, flowers, oddities, coffee, a bit of a Starbucks kind of theme there. This one you can't really see it, but I didn't make that pattern. That's one of the default ones. And I made this one. It's kind of hard to tell what it is, but it's like turnips. This is like the gardening one, I guess. Yeah. This is my little orchard. Oh, there's a ton of weeds here. Oh no. Being at the point in the game where I am, there's not much need for fruit farming anymore. So I just keep a small section. Oranges are our town, our native fruit. So I keep one orange tree. Just a small section of all the fruits. Whenever a need for fruit comes up. And there is a bit of access to the beach here. Nothing too fancy. I don't like that these chairs are repeated, and I hope to replace that eventually. It's just this is the only one that I've got. This is, little SpongeBob and Patrick. I saw this on Twitter, and I wanted to integrate it. If I can find the tweet, I will definitely link that in the description. Or I could probably put the ID code. Maybe I could find that in the in here. Maybe. I don't know. I'll look later. There are things in there I don't want people to see. But yeah, this is my main attraction beach. My other beaches are not this interesting. So let's move along. Obviously, town square. A little bit of flowers in here. I want this little area to be something more than just a little flower bed. I'm not sure what I want to make it yet. This town is definitely still a work in progress. Absolutely. So there are things that will be changed. Coming up over here, we got another behave sign, a water fountain, little phone booth, and of course, this is my museum. I do have some of the cooler fossils on display. I do swap out this smaller one here, and then this one, I'll rotate the larger one here. The T-Rex always stays. These small ones, these little small displays get swapped out from time to time as well, just to keep it fresh and fun. I do have the upgraded museum with the artwork in there. I only have one painting because I haven't seen Red since his introductory visit. And then we go this way. Typically I wouldn't probably go this way, but there's access to the beach down here. This beach is very dull. There's really nothing here except for fishing. I just discovered that you could put stuff on the dock fairly recently, so I decorated it. I'm going to change what this stall looks like a lot. I want this to kind of match the colors of the actual dock. I'll probably change this as well, the workbench to match as well. But there's really nothing to see on this beach, so I'm just going to go back. And then here we have another small neighborhood. And this neighborhood consists of 2 villagers and 2 player characters. Here we have Biddy, who I absolutely hate so much. And then here we have Pico, who I adore greatly. And then I have 2 player characters here. This is Violet's house. And then over here we have Oliver. And we will go through both their houses. But first, we do have this little bench area here. I struggled with how I wanted this to look for like a full day, and then by the end of the day I finally settled on this. I didn't want it to be too big, and I felt like at this size it was too big, but then once I actually got the plants and the benches in here, it felt great. It felt like a good size. And then there's a small waterfall going down there. So let's go into Oliver's house. Oliver's house is very small. Despite being fully upgraded, these characters' houses are all fully upgraded just because I wanted to change how they looked on the outside. But you'll see in a lot of them, if the doors to the other rooms aren't blocked off yet, already they will be in the future. So his aesthetic is green. He likes the green. He likes the white. So that's what's going on in here. It's just a single room. He does have an upstairs, and I will show it to you. I'll show you his upstairs, but his upstairs will be the only one I'll show you out of my other player characters' houses, for the most part, just because there's only one of them that's decorated. But I really like how this looks. I really like the aesthetic I have going in here. And then we will go upstairs just to show you what it looks like. It's just a behave sign. It's just behave. It's all darkness. It's just a black wall, black floor with the behave sign, so you know to behave. It's just a reminder. Behave. And then we will move on, and then we'll show you Violet's house. Violet's house is awful. I have a little garden pond here. This area actually reminds me a lot. It kind of feels a lot like a little town you'd see in Pokemon, like a midway town that you'd kind of come across. It has like a Pokemon Center maybe. And this is the extent of Violet's house. Her theme is purple. Obviously, her name is Violet. The lore of her character is that she's a travel blogger, and I do intend to incorporate that more in the future. Right now, though, I just feel a little item deprived, so it's not happening yet, but that is the plan for her, is to kind of flesh that out a little more. Her second floor room looks exactly like Oliver's, so I'm not going to show you that, but she just has a bunch of purple and blue stuff. We will exit now, and then I'll show you the rest of this town, or this little neighborhood. There's really not much going on though, so much here. It's just there's just a lighthouse. That's about it. Oh no. Come on. Golly. I thought I was supposed to be good at this game, I can't do that. Oh, there's way too many flowers growing up here. I don't come up here too often because it's entirely aesthetic. You can come over here. I'm sorry if you can hear my cat meowing. You can come around here, but there's nothing here. There's just trees in case you happen to look up here. There's something to look at. And that's a little sneak peek there at a little treat that we will go to right away, actually. That's our next spot. So that's this little neighborhood. I really wanted to have separate neighborhoods for my villagers, so they weren't all living in the same spot, because originally they were kind of all in the same area, so I'd only ever see them in that area, but I've developed the entire island, so I want them everywhere. So I spread out. There's 3 separate neighborhoods, and I spread them all out. This is just a little park area. If there is ever a cafe building added that we can put into town, this is where it's gonna go. and then this will be developed into like an outdoor cafe kind of area to kind of go along with it. That is the plan, and I really hope that they add the cafe. And this is my graveyard. I'm considering this finished state. I just finished it yesterday. I spent like a week kind of working it out. Just some graves. This is where the grave digger keeps his stuff, his supplies. And then we come up here, and these are where the rich people are buried, because they have the nice hill they have the nice hill with the view of the beach. And then we come up here. This house is not finished. It does belong to obviously one of my player characters. I'm not going to go into the lore of this character, but his name is Polossi. It is Russian for stripes. And this is his room. He is a skeleton. And of course he lives at the top of the graveyard. And he kind of manages it. But yeah, so this is his house. Obviously it will be just as developed as all the other houses, just because of course I want to develop the outside of the house as well. But I have just not gotten to that point with this one yet. Some weeds here. Pick those up. Alright, now let's move on. We will leave this area. And then we will go across this bridge here. And you can see the sign. This is one of the pocket camp items that you can get. It's just a little sign. There's some trees here. And this is where my campsite is. Nice little area by the woods, or by the waterfall, sorry, near the river. This was supposed to be an area with some like electronic, like electricity shit. But this utility pole is the only item kind of in that theme that I've got. So I'm thinking I'm going to tear this down eventually, and just expand the campsite. But right now it's just utility pole. This is where the guy comes and checks the readings, and I don't know. Yeah, and I don't understand, it's buried in the forest. This originally was not like a foresty kind of area, like a woodsy kind of spot. It was just campsites over there. It's a little excluded, or a little secluded. Yeah. This is kind of the shopping area. My Nook's Cranny. Obviously I have the expanded Nook's Cranny. They sell a little bit of gas, and there's a little bit of bicycle, parking area. Snack machines here. This is like a little picnic kind of area. This was one of the Cherry Blossom Festival items you can get. Pretty basic. There's a little gnome sitting back there. Then there's a bridge here that leads back to the town hall. But we don't want to go back there. Here we have Rattle's house. And originally when Rattle moved in at the height of the coronavirus, the beginning when everyone started getting all freaked out, he moved in and he wears a mask. So we were calling him the COVID frog. He was at one point quarantined. There was barbed wire around his house. He was not allowed to leave. But he's since been cleared, and he's safe to reintegrate. So that's Rattle. He's probably the only villager I'll actually introduce you guys to. I gave him a floor that was not dirt, and he did not use it, and I'm upset about that. I don't know what's up with that. I don't like that he has a dirt floor. It's very depressing. But anyway, here's my Able sisters. One step above the Nook's Cranny, and they have a little kind of cafe sitting spot here. Just something to make the area feel a little more lively. Because I don't know, I thought just having buildings and then cliff, building, cliff, building, cliff, I thought that would be kind of boring. And they're selling this spacesuit, and I'm gonna go buy that later. Yeah, this stuff, I think this stuff will probably stay here if there is a cafe edition. because it gives this area some charm. And then we have the Communist Turtle Toll. You can't pass through unless you got money to pay the toll, and I do, so I give them a little money, and then through I go. And now I'm in the third neighborhood, and there's Paula, one of my other most hated villagers. I hate her. This is Gaston's house, and I fucking love Gaston. Oh, I said the F word. I said I shit and love Gaston. He's the best. Another behave sign, of course. This is one of my other player characters' houses, obviously. That's Atlas's house, and I'll bring you through there shortly. This one is... Who is this? Oh, this is Paula's house. Up until recently, Jeremiah lived here. I moved Jeremiah in with an amiibo card. And then he said he wanted to go on adventures, so I said, Jeremiah, you got to. You have to go on your adventures. And so off he went, and then Paula moved in. This is a little, like, touristy. Oh, viewing spot. Oh, look over the island. Look over the island. I didn't think it was gonna snap it back up, but, you know, you look through the little telescopes and you see how the island looks. It doesn't really work looking that way towards the camera, but I think it's a good spot. I like this spot. Up until yesterday, it was ugly, and there was really nothing happening here. And then I put some flowers and bushes down, because they added flowers and bushes, and I wanted to use them. Nice little seating area there. Come through here. This is Jacques' house, and I moved Jacques in with an amiibo card as well. And then this is Ophelia's house, and she has a giant Atlas Moth figure here. I wanted this, or initially I had it in my bedroom, but it was just like in the center of the room, and that didn't really make any sense to me. Feng Shui wise, you have to walk around a giant moth every time you want to walk through the room. So I put it here because I didn't know what to put in her yard. Eventually there will be things in her yard, but right now there's not. None of her rooms are decorated apart from this one right now. And this one is decorated by using only things she's given and mailed and received in the mail. She doesn't have any outside gifts. These things are just given to her. She doesn't buy furniture. She only uses what's given to her. So yeah, the bidet right next to the microwave and the fridge there. I did make her this bed because the cot, you can't live on a cot. There's absolutely nothing in any of her other rooms, so I'm not going to show you those. Maybe one day they'll be decorated, but not today, because personally I feel like this game is lacking in items, 100%. But I'm not going to talk about that here because I do love this game and I'm showing off my house to you. Paula will never understand how to behave, but she's studying the sign. So this is Atlas's house, and Atlas was in my New Leaf town, and he's got some lore to him. Basically, he's a down and out kind of guy, hard on his luck. So he's got to find a way to make ends meet. So basically, you'll see here, he's got a bit of a mechanic business going on here. Working on some bicycles right now. This room is still a work in progress. I do want to get some more automotive items in here. Like New Leaf had like a full-on car that you can get. That was later in the Happy Home Designer. Was it? No, it was the Welcome Amiibo update. That added a car if you had Happy Home Designer save file on your 3DS. So hopefully we get some items like that. That would be awesome to have like the full-on cars, the car items in this game. Oh, think of the possibilities. People making full-on Walmarts and stuff. That'd be amazing. Anyway, enough gushing. He lives upstairs. It's not like my house where it's just a bedroom. This is like a bachelor pad, like a suite. So it's all here. His kitchen, his living room, his bedroom, and his bathroom. This is one of my favorite rooms actually that I have built right now. I I love being able to cram a ton of stuff into one room, and I think I've done a pretty good job with this one. His little bathroom area here. I've used custom patterns, just simple ones, to put kind of section it off a little more. His little kitchen, he's got his pizza oven there and his fridge there with his spices on top, but he's still got to beat up a few punching bags every once in a while. You can see he's got some plants growing here. And then we sit here, and he's got a suitcase full of gold bars. So that's a little hint that a little bit of something happening here. The only thing that I plan on changing in this room is his radio is pink. I have nothing against pink radios, but Atlas is not the kind of person to have a pink radio in his house. So as soon as I can replace that, I'm going to. The only other room right now that is decorated for Atlas is his back room, and this is also one of my favorite rooms. So here we go. This is Atlas's grow room. Back in my New Leaf town, Atlas grew recreational marijuana. He also cooked crystal meth in his basement. And that's where he got all of his money from. So he's moved to Wallflower, and he's brought that those entrepreneurial endeavors with him. And he's rather successful, apparently, because he's got all those gold bars upstairs, which is very cool. So yeah, this room is pretty simple. There's not very much in here, but just like the story it tells makes it one of my favorite rooms for sure. That room's done. I probably will never ever change that room in any way. I'm pretty sure that's it. That's it for that room. And that's Atlas's house. He does have 2 side rooms and a basement. I do have a plan for the basement. The plan is to get the meth kitchen in the basement again, if there are items in this game that allow for it. But so far I haven't really seen much. There's like the lab set, and that's about it. The items that I had in New Leaf, most of them that I used to make his kitchen are gone, or not present in this game currently, so I can't do it just yet. This is my flower breeding area. This is where I breed my hybrids. Not even just hybrids. I breed everything here when I need it. I don't breed a lot of hyacinths or any what are they called? I don't breed any of the cosmos. Not cosmos. Fuck. Oh, I said fuck again. I'm so sorry. These stupid flowers. What are these called? I know what these pansies. I don't breed pansies here, and I don't breed hyacinths because I can buy those. If I am breeding hyacinths, it's just to get the hybrid ones. But I'm not going to breed like white, red, yellow, whatever hyacinths or pansies. But I do have everything else growing. Black roses, I actually got a golden rose the other day, which was really cool. And you saw a little bit just recently, just a couple seconds ago. This is where I store all of my flowers that I value too much to get rid of, because you can't store flower plants in this game as of right now, which is very frustrating because look at all this landscape, look at all this real estate I have up here. I could be doing just the most fabulous things up here, but no, I gotta store my flowers up here because you never know when you're gonna need a specific kind of flower just to craft something, or you have a new idea for a new area. So that really blows. I have all this area. I mean, this is gorgeous. Looking at this is phenomenal. But I would really love for there to be something else up here. But right now it's not possible because I can't store these. And of course, here is the gold roses that I mentioned. Hope to get more of those. You know, I do have some black roses, some more black roses. I have quite a few black roses, actually. Some black tulips. You saw black tulips earlier as well. And then we come down here, and this is probably my newest addition to this town, to my island. The second that it leaked that this new update was going to have Red, crazy old Red, jolly Red, docking at the secret beach, I knew I had to create a super secluded, like very like derelict pathway to the secret beach. So we got a bit of a Normandy flashback here, where, you know, we got the spikes, because he's gonna be docking here, and the river will turn red and all this crazy shit. I really like how this looks, actually. This is one of the ways where you could use weeds to your advantage, and make something feel a lot more lush and fleshed out than it initially did. This area would look a lot more boring if it wasn't full of growing, booming weeds. A lot of people think, I gotta get all the weeds out of my town, I don't want any weeds in my town, weeds are awful, but the weeds in this game especially are amazing to have around, because these things are gorgeous, and the depth they add to an area, like, look at that, that's beautiful. I think that's beautiful. And there it is. It's actually one of my favorite spots in town now. This tiny little section of the island that leads to a secret beach where Red will dock like twice a month, if that. But it's awesome. I would like to move my breeding area somewhere else, so that there's more, like, it doesn't feel right that I have to go through a breeding area to get here. It doesn't make sense to me. The fluidity of that doesn't really add up for me. But right now, that's how it is. So this breeding zone might move. Who knows? Maybe I'll buy a few shovels and dig up all of these flowers and just get rid of them. And then move the breeding zone up here and just breed when I need. But I honestly don't see that happening, because if I get rid of all the flowers, then I'm not going to have any flowers to breed. I'm going to need the flowers to breed them. So, yeah. I don't know what's going to happen there, but I definitely want something more cohesive happening to kind of get here. And I think that's pretty much it. Let's see. I don't think there's anything else to really show. Paula's got her fat ass on the stupid walkway again. I've shown about all of it off. There is the one spot down here that I didn't show. Mostly because there's nothing here. It's just some trees and some bamboo happening. I don't have any plan for this area yet. I don't even know if I'm ever going to develop it into anything. I have a little telescope here, but that's about it. Nothing really happens here. Yeah, I don't have a plan for this spot. I kind of like it just being trees and bamboo and nature, because I feel like a lot of my town is pretty developed, to where it's kind of lost some of that kind of coziness of like a small town. Definitely not to the extent that I've seen some other islands though. So yeah, that's my town. That's about it. This is what a 5-star town looks like, and you know, a 5-star town can look like just about anything. But this is what mine looks like, and I'm a big fan of it. I'm really happy with how it is, how it's turning out. It keeps developing. It changes every day. I change something every day, and then it becomes something else, and it becomes something bigger and more interesting every day, and I love that. And the more they keep adding things to this game, the more it's going to change for me, and the more my island's going to develop, and the more I'm going to like it. So yeah, if you guys have anything to say about it, you have any comments, obviously leave them down below. Give this video a like if you enjoyed seeing this island. If you did sit through this 40+ minute video, thank you. I went pretty in depth, which I probably didn't have to, but I felt like doing it because, you know, I love this game and I've put so many hours into this game to make an island. I wanted some people to see it. So yeah, although if you have any bitching and moaning to do about the fact that I've time traveled, I don't care. I will probably just delete your comment because it's my game. I paid $90 for this game twice. I have a digital and a physical copy of this game. I will play it however I damn well please. So don't leave comments like that, or they will be deleted. Anyway, thanks for watching. I will see you guys later.